time?
Yeah, actually, we have a team. They're working on 24 hours to monitor if there is an hack breach of the cameras and have published to the public.
Now, have the Kuwaiti security agencies detected any attempts to hack surveillance camera or exploit them, or for espionage or information gathering?
No, actually, the systems of the cameras are good and the security also,
Mhm.
but we need to aware the people of it.
What are the most important requirements or regulations for homeowners and business owners must follow when installing and operating surveillance camera?
Well, the thing is the password and the username should be difficult,
Mhm.
and they have to update the camera system of their last version.
Captain Mohammed, could you elaborate more on what the business owners and homeowners use while operating the camera? And you said to change the password. Do they change that regularly? Do you have any
Uh,
suggestions?
okay. First of all, we've noticed like some passwords and the username are too easy for the breach for the hack. So we need to inform the people that they need to make it like way difficult so he cannot take any breach from the username or the password.
Okay. To what extent can compromised cameras become a gateway for hacking or other network or systems?
Okay, yes, the hacker can reach to the system from the network and take the data from it.
And how does the Ministry of Interior coordinate with other cyber agencies in the country to enhance the protection of these systems?
Okay, we have a daily communication and report with the NCSC, stands for the National Cyber Security uh, Center, and we're checking it every day.
Captain Engineer Mohammed Mtairi from the Cybercrime Department at the Ministry of Interior, we appreciate your input. Now, back to my guest here in the studio, Mr. Jassim Qabazard, who is a political and a business analyst, engineer consultant, and a businessman. Mr. Qabazard, we discussed in much details about the situation in the region, and we also touched base on the outcomes of the UN Security Council and how the implications of it affect the region and how we take a stand towards it. Now, how do you interpret the position of the permanent members of the UN Security Council, particularly Russia and China? And I know we touched base on their stance earlier, given their strategic relations with Iran.
Yes. We noticed that they abstained from voting, and that indicates that they have a point of view, which maybe it was not the time to express it. I think there is a let's say, technological or some field of technology exchange between Iran and these two nations in terms of what is ongoing right now, which is the control of missile tracks and being able to guide them to be specifically hitting their targets. I have followed up in the international news that there must be some satellite coverage to be able to direct these missiles going in a certain direction and avoiding being hit and so forth and so on, which is actually happening on ground. These two countries are known to have high technology and have been in touch with Iran, and I'm sure after the 12-day war, they increased the communications. It would be obvious, it's not that I know, but it would be obvious that if China and Russia want to create an Eastern Bloc with Iran, this is the time to do it without being public about it. And I believe that their abstention in this voting, the results would show maybe later on, when the war between the two countries develop further and hopefully to become lower and not stronger, and their role will show in the time. And I believe that they want peace to happen because what's going on is affecting their markets also, no doubt.
China took the same stance towards condemning the U.S. when it first ousted Nicolas Maduro of Venezuela.
Yes.
And it's stating it's obvious during this crisis as well. Do you feel it's a strategic move from China's end to avoid or absent in this UN Security Council voting?
Yes, it's. I think it's a strategic and a major contributor to the future of this conflict or this war which is going on. Let's call it conflict, because it's a power play, and I mentioned earlier balance of power. If China or Russia want a country in our region to be there in their alliance, it's not going to be Gulf region.
Yes.
Because we don't have the capability. We don't have the number of people. We don't have the background. We don't have the knowledge nor the intent even to be in any kind of violent acts in order to gain control of any area. We always work within peace talks and financial investments. So Iran seems to be the natural geographical border for the Eastern Bloc to put their hands in, and apparently they are. So I would envisage that these two giants are sleeping partners right now.
Yes.
And they're showing their capability indirectly through Iran, through Iran's capability of stand this war. If we can go back on some of the statements which President Donald Trump mentioned, he may use ground troops to go into Iran, because that's the next thing to do, because you cannot win just through air or sea. And ground troops is a major step. So what did Araghchi, the foreign minister, say? He said, come over. This is quite a challenging statement at this time of war, which shows that the other side is ready to take maybe a strong hit, but is not going to back off. And this creates a very unhappy, unhealthy situation of confrontation, where they both try to show their muscle against each other. At the end, innocent people will pay the price.
Of course.
And the international economy will pay the price. International stability will pay the price. And if China used the event which happened in Venezuela, China is talking about the way a big nation like the United States goes and steals head of a state out of a nation. This is a very, let's say, and from diplomatic point of view, from an international point of view, it's like stealing. Whether
Yes,
instead of stealing some good, you steal the sovereignty of a country,
Yes.
no matter how much you disagree with them, you know. And it seemed that he wanted to apply the same rules in Iran. And I presume China foresaw this, could tell that is going to do the same thing with Iran. So they became vocal and they said, we disagree, we don't let you do this again, so that be careful, if you come to do the same thing in Iran, we're going to show up. So far, Iran is fighting its own war. And I think the backing of China and the Russia is there, is indirectly there.
Now, if we want to shift gears a little bit more, since you're a business analyst, and we talked briefly about the Strait of Hormuz and how it affects the oil supply chain, What would be the global consequences if the navigation through the corridor was disrupted or fully closed? Because this is a risk stated by Iran's recently elected supreme leader, that
Yes.
they will follow the closure of the Hormuz.
Yes, they know. As I said, Iran is showing that it's not depending on just its muscles. It cannot match. No way. It cannot match the muscles of the United States. Maybe Israel, okay, but not United States. So it uses international havoc, creating disruption in the international world. And Iran is aware that the political situation in America, where Donald Trump is losing his publicity in the United States political system because of this war. So it's creating the avenues and the reasons for the American people and for the international community to sort of affect the decision making of the United States. So this is part of the tools it's using. And the economic side is the most important.
Yes.
And this is what we, as the Gulf state, can be party and effective and make a decision to go to the peace talks rather than continue war.
Now, again, as a business analyst, I know you always look for opportunities in situations like this. What do you feel in light of the tension that we're going through? What opportunities are there to stabilize the economy in this region?
Again, through peace talks is the only thing, because what caused Hormuz to be closed is the impact, the financial impact on Iran. Definitely, it's hurting. And it has other venues to sell its oil through the ground, not
Yes.
through the sea. But it also has some openings. So Hormuz, although it does affect its commercial business, but apparently it can absorb. So it did stop it because it felt that the impact is going to be more on the globally, and on our side, on the other side of the Gulf, the Arabian Gulf, is the Arab nation, business and investment. So it used that as a point of pressure
Yes.
on us, and us to pressurize Europe and to pressurize America into coming to a peace table rather than continue this war. So this is one of the tools other than military tools, which is effective, and with time it will be. Mind you, Bab al-Mandab is another possibility of increasing this pressure. And the Houthis are doing nothing right now, but they are there, and they can also be detrimental to the passage of merchandise inside that seafront.
Mr. Jassim, it's a pleasure to have you here with us in the studio with this lovely discussion. Before we wrap things up, would you like to have the final words to our dear viewers?
Yes, very much so. We have to maintain our unity in Kuwait. Al-Wahda al-Watani. We have to maintain our national unity and avoid any kind of disruption in this web of friendship that we have in Kuwait, and support all the decisions of our leader, Sheikh Mash'al Al-Ahmad Al-Sabah. May Allah give him his life and prosperity and peace, and our government. And that's all I can say, is that we should bite on the wound and have always been Kuwaiti like this. We are always been good at business, very, very tolerable people. And we should use this gift that God has given us to keep our country unified among itself.
Inshallah, Ameen. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Now, dear viewers, I would like to remind you that in times of crisis and regional tensions, maintaining stability is not limited to official institutions alone, but extends to the awareness of the entire community. Citizens and residents alike form an essential part of the security and stability system through their adherence to official directives and their responsible handling of information. With the rapid spread of social media, rumors become one of the most serious challenges facing societies in such circumstances, as inaccurate information can contribute to anxiety or exaggerated event beyond their true scope. This underscores the importance of obtaining news from official and reliable sources and refraining from sharing any unverified information. Community awareness, adherence to instruction, and responsible handling of information are fundamental factors that strengthen trust, maintain stability, and support the state's effort in crisis management.
الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلوات الله وسلامه على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد، فعلى المسلم أن يوطن نفسه على الابتلاءات. قال الله تبارك وتعالى: ونبلوكم بالشر والخير فتنة. هذه الحياة حياة ابتلاء. الله سبحانه وتعالى يقول: لقد خلقنا الإنسان في كبد. وقال تبارك وتعالى: ولنبلونكم بشيء من الخوف والجوع ونقص من الأموال والأنفس والثمرات وبشر الصابرين الذين إذا أصابتهم مصيبة قالوا إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. الصبر أمر مهم، لا سيما في مثل هذه الأوقات. قال الله تبارك وتعالى: والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. الصبر ورد ذكره في القرآن نحو 100 مرة، وورد ذكره في الحديث نحو 100 مرة، وذلك لأهميته. كذلك أن نقول إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. إنا لله، دائما نحن في صلواتنا نستعين بالله تبارك وتعالى، ونقول ذلك في كل ركعة: إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. فالاستعانة بالله، وعلينا أن نسترجع بأن نقول إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون، وأن نطمئن وأن نتوكل على الله سبحانه وتعالى. والنبي عليه الصلاة والسلام يقول: عجبا لأمر المؤمن إن أمره كله خير. إذا أصابته ضراء صبر فكان خيرا له، وإذا أصابته سراء شكر فكان خيرا له. فلا شك بأن الإنسان بصبره واسترجاعه واعتماده على الله سبحانه وتعالى وبذل الأسباب باتباع التعليمات التي تصدر من الجهات الرسمية المسؤولة، فإن ذلك مما يكون سببا في الحفظ من الله وبذل الأسباب من عند الإنسان. نسأل الله عز وجل أن يحفظ الكويت وأميرها وأهلها من كل مكروه، وصلى الله وسلم على نبينا محمد، والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Hello dear viewers, I'm your host Ritajish Kinani, and this is Kuwait Vibes, the show about the people, the place and the energy that makes Kuwait so special. And as the sun begins to set during Ramadan, people are taking their last lap before they break their fast. We're gonna go ahead and ask people what they're up to and play a game with them. Let's find our first visitor. Let's go, guys. we have a lot of cute faces wanting to participate with us in the game. So can I get your name?
Badr,
Badr, what about you?
Jana,
Jana.
Jude.
Jude. So what are you guys doing here at the park today?
We're gonna play. We're gonna play, and now we're gonna go home.
Okay then. What about you? You're playing as well? You guys are all playing?
Yeah, we're playing and we're enjoying in the park.
Alhamdulillah. And you guys are getting ready for iftar in a bit, right?
Yes.
What's your favorite thing to eat during Ramadan?
Sambusa.
Sambusa, you?
ICDI.
I like that.
I like the kubba.
But okay then, I hope you guys enjoy. I have a game for you guys. I'm gonna ask you a question, and if you get it right, you win a prize. If you don't, then tough luck, maybe next year. Okay? So the question goes, what is Kuwait known for their natural resources? Think about it.
Money?
No, not money. But you're close. Let's see.
They're farming.
No. I'll give you one more chance, huh?
They're oil.
Their oil, that is correct. Good job. Kuwait is known for oil. Congratulations. Here you go. Thank you guys so much for playing with us. We'll enjoy iftar with your family. Yalla, take care. Bye. Yeah, of course, bye. They were so adorable, guys. Let's see if we can find maybe one more visitor and see if they can win a prize as well. Let's see. Hi. Hi guys. What's your name?
Richard,
Richard. And what about you? Come here.
come.
What's your name?
Roy.
Roy? Well, it's really nice to meet you guys. And what are you up to?
We are here playing football
Yeah.
together and,
And-
enjoying the good weather.
You like to play football?
Yes.
What's your favorite team?
Portugal.
Portugal. Okay, then nice. Good good one. And then you guys come here often during Ramadan, or like is this like even
Especially before iftar, we like to come and enjoy our time and
Yeah.
spend some good time with the family.
beautiful, yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And are you enjoying your time?
Yeah.
Just-
And I like working out.
You like working out? You work out every day?
Yeah.
So you can become big and strong.
Yeah, I already work out like in the morning and night.
We have a strong guy. You guys gotta watch out for him. So I have a game for you guys, okay? I'm gonna ask you a question, and if you get it right, you win a prize. If you don't, then tough luck. Okay?
I don't like prizes.
Well, maybe your dad will say something else about that. Okay. So the question goes, what is the most famous island known in Kuwait? What do you think, Roy?
We went to it last time.
I think it's somewhere where it was like I don't know the name, but it was like big,
Yeah.
and we saw dead like bikes. We saw bikes
Yeah.
there with kids. Bike where it was gone, and I don't know where it was.
Okay. You don't know the name of the island?
No,
I can tell it to you in your ear.
Yeah. You can get some hints.
Bayrita.
Bailaka Island, congratulations, good job. It's coming in. Here you go, Roy. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for playing. We enjoy playing football.
I actually drink like more water than anyone.
Oh, I believe that. Yeah, thank you so much. We enjoy.
Thank you.
Let's
God
see.
bless Kuwait. Thank
You-
you. Thank you.
Let's see if we can find another visitor around here in the park. I'm gonna climb this, see if I can find someone from above. Nope, nobody around. Let's see if we can go out and find someone. So today I'm here with my little friend. What's your name? شنو اسمك?
Hassan.
Hassan. Hassan here is playing at the park right before iftar, right? Yes? I will play a game with you, okay? I will ask you a question. If you get it right, you win a prize, okay? Ready?
Okay.
How many colors on the Kuwait flag?
Hello.
Eh. Four. Four! Congratulations! Yes! Congratulations, Hassan. This is for you. Good job. We enjoy playing at the park, okay? 3, 2, 1. Hit it. Kuwait vibes. Thank you so much.
What?
Yalla. let's see if we can talk to other visitors. Hello.
Hi, hello.
What's your name?
My name is Onur.
And where are you from?
My from is Turkey.
Also from Turkey. You see, the park is gathering everybody from all around the world.
This park is nice.
It's
I bring it child here. It's okay.
Okay, so he's here with his family enjoying the park right before iftar. Are you excited for iftar?
No, this is for child good
Yeah?
and weather is good.
Yeah, the weather is
Yeah.
beautiful today. It's
And
cold.
sometimes I work it here.
Okay.
Walk, yeah.
Walking, exercising
Yeah,
as well.
exercise
So, are you excited for Ramadan? Like, are you
Yeah, I
excited?
like it. Ramadan in Kuwait is nice.
Beautiful,
Yeah,
beautiful.
beautiful.
What are you excited to eat during Ramadan? Your favorite dish?
Ramadan, everything is good. It's kubba or yeah.
We have a lot of fans.
Everything is nice because it's rice made with meat like that. Everything is good. Good. I like it.
And your kids, are they enjoying the park?
Yeah, enjoying the park is nice. He's happy when he come here.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
I'm so glad to hear that, and I hope you guys continue enjoying the park and enjoy your iftar with your family. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ramadan Kareem.
You too. Take care. And with that being said, guys, it's time for us and the team to go and break our fast. Until next time, I'm your host, Ritajish Kenani. This is Kuwait Vibes, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.
Ministry of Defense announces that defense systems detected one hostile ballistic missile in the past 24 hours. Ministry of Health states that health situation in the country is stable. European Union energy officials convene to discuss impact of escalating tensions in the Middle East. Dear viewers, from the latest special coverage that we had to the main news bulletin, as part of the ongoing field monitoring of the healthcare system's readiness, Minister of Health Dr. Ahmed Al-Awadi conducted an inspection tour that included the emergency department and Barak Al-Kabir Hospital in Hawali Governorate. He reviewed the readiness of the resuscitation rooms and the availability of medications and medical supplies in the pharmacy and the emergency plans and the implementation mechanisms. He found that the situation was stable and that the medical and technical staff were fully prepared to handle various cases. The tour also included a visit to the emergency department at Amiri Hospital in the capital governorate, where he met with medical and nursing staff and reviewed the workflow and patient reception procedures. He also reviewed the readiness of the engineering department and hospital's approved shelter plans. He noted that organizational procedures and technical preparations were proceeding smoothly according to the established plans. He also commended the efforts of the medical, administrative and also engineering teams across all sectors of the national healthcare system for their professional, responsible and also humanitarian work during these circumstances. These field visits come as part of the Ministry of Health's keenness to directly monitor the level of preparedness in health facilities and to ensure the readiness of emergency departments and the efficiency of drug supply systems and engineering services in order to ensure the continued provision of high-quality healthcare system to citizens and residents in all circumstances. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Sheikh Jarrah Jaber Ahmed Al-Sabah, received a telephone call today from His Excellency Jose Manuel Alvarez, Minister of Foreign Affairs, European Union and Cooperation of the Friendly Kingdom of Spain. During the call, they discussed the escalating military tensions in the region resulting from Iran's aggression against regional countries and the serious repercussions and alarming consequences for security and stability at both the regional and international levels. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs expressed the State of Kuwait's strong condemnation and denunciation of the Israeli occupation forces' attack on southern Lebanon, calling it a blatant violation of international law and international humanitarian law and a clear breach of Security Council resolutions, particularly the 1701 resolution. In a statement issued today, the ministry reiterated Kuwait's call upon the international community to fulfill its responsibilities in deterring the Israeli occupation authorities from their repeated attacks on Lebanese territory. It emphasized the importance of respecting Lebanon's sovereignty and territorial integrity and adhering to relevant international resolutions and conventions. The ministry affirmed Kuwait's unwavering support for Lebanon and its commitment to standing by the country in preserving its sovereignty, territorial integrity, security and stability. And the Ministry of Defense announced today that its air defense systems detected one hostile ballistic missile in the past 24 hours. However, the missile was outside the threat zone, posed no danger and caused no damage. The statement was made by the official spokesperson for the Ministry of Defense, Colonel Saud Al-Atwan, during a media briefing on current events and the latest developments on the ground in light of the Iranian aggression against the state of Kuwait. The Ministry of Interior announced that today that it had detected several individuals using drones for aerial photography and clear violations of previously announced instructions. This came in a statement by Brigadier General Nasser Boslaib, Director General of the General Department of Public Relations and Security Media and spokesperson for the Ministry of Interior during a media briefing on current events and the latest developments on the ground in light of the Iranian aggression against the state of Kuwait. Brigadier General Boslaib added that such practices negatively impact the efforts of security and military forces, indicating that those using the drones will be apprehended, legal action will be taken against them, and they will be referred to the appropriate authorities. He also stated that the Explosive Ordnance Disposal EOD teams dealt with 16 reports related to falling shrapnel resulting from defensive interception operations during the past 24 hours, bringing the total number of reports since the beginning of the aggression to 372. The Ministry of Health stated that the health situation in the country is stable and that all hospitals and health centers are operating at full capacity. It affirmed that medical, administrative, technical and engineering staff across all sectors are fully prepared to fulfill their national and humanitarian duty. The statement was made by the official spokesperson for the Ministry of Health, Dr. Abdullah Sanad, today during a media briefing regarding current events and latest developments on the ground in light of Iranian aggression against the state of Kuwait. Dr. Sanad added that the Ministry of Health, as part of its state institutions, continues to perform its national duty with utmost responsibility within an integrated system operating under the directives of the wise leadership and in close coordination with various government agencies to safeguard the nation's security and the well-being of all who reside within its borders. The Ministry of Commerce and Industry announced the arrival of the first Kuwait Airways flight carrying shipments of fresh food to Kuwait. The shipments included fresh meat, fruits, vegetables and a number of other food items. In a statement released today, the ministry said this initiative was coordinated and monitored by the ministry in cooperation with the private sector to expedite the arrival of food shipments to the country and enhance the supply of goods to markets. The ministry explained that the shipments were transported to warehouses equipped with all necessary facilities for preventing food according to approved standards in preparation for distribution to retail outlets throughout the country. Now, the ministry emphasized that these measures are part of its ongoing efforts to stabilize markets, ensure the availability of food products, and meet consumer needs. The ministry also has undertaken to provide the necessary support for the air transport of these shipments in cooperation with the private sector to guarantee their swift arrival to local markets. In light of the current circumstances, the Kuwait Red Crescent Society is organizing first aid training courses aimed at raising awareness and preparedness for dealing with emergencies. These courses target various segments of citizens and residents, providing participants with practical training on how to handle injuries and sudden accidents to enhance the community's ability to respond quickly during crises.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين. في إطار المتابعة المستمرة للتطورات الأمنية والإجراءات الدفاعية المتخذة لحماية أجواء البلاد، واصلت القوات المسلحة خلال ال24 ساعة الماضية مهامها في رصد ومتابعة أي تهديدات جوية محتملة. وفي هذا السياق رصدت منظومات الدفاع الجوي صاروخاً باليستياً معادياً واحداً، إلا أنه كان خارج منطقة التهديد ولم يشكل أي خطر ولم ينتج عنه أي أضرار. وإن منتسبي القوات المسلحة كانوا وما زالوا درع الوطن الحصين وسياجه المنيع في مواجهة مختلف الظروف والتحديات، واضعين نصب عيونهم حفظ أمن البلاد واستقرارها وسلامة أراضيها وأجوائها، مع المحافظة على أعلى درجات الجاهزية واليقظة والاستعداد بالتعاون والتنسيق والعمل المشترك مع إخوانهم في مختلف القطاعات العسكرية. وفي الختام نسأل الله تعالى أن يديم علينا نعمة الأمن والأمان والعزة والرفعة للكويت في ظل القيادة الحكيمة لسيدي حضرة صاحب السمو أمير البلاد القائد الأعلى للقوات المسلحة الشيخ مشعل الأحمد الجابر الصباح حفظه الله ورعاه، وسمو ولي عهده الأمين الشيخ صباح خالد الحمد الصباح حفظه الله. اللهم ارحم شهداءنا الأبرار إنك سميع قريب مجيب الدعوات.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. استمراراً لجهود المتابعة والرصد الأمني، ننقل في هذا الإيجاز أبرز التطورات التي شهدتها البلاد خلال 24 ساعة الماضية. تعاملت فرقة تخلص من المتفجرات مع 16 بلاغ مرتبطاً بسقوط شظايا ناتجة عن عملية الاعتراض الدفاعي، ليرتفع مجموع البلاغات منذ بداية العدوان إلى 372 بلاغ. تم تشغيل صافرات الإنذار مرة واحدة ليصل إجمالي عدد مرات تشغيلها منذ بداية العدوان إلى 88 مرة. ونعرض الآن عدد من البلاغات المتعلقة بسقوط الشظايا أو الأجسام خارج منطقة التهديد. رصدت وزارة الداخلية قيام عدد من الأشخاص باستخدام طائرات الدرون للتصوير الجوي مخالفة للتعليمات التي تم الإعلان عنها عبر البيانات الرسمية في ظل الظروف الأمنية الراهنة. وتؤكد الوزارة أن مثل هذه الممارسات تمثل مخالفة صريحة للتعليمات، كما أنها تؤثر سلباً على جهود الجهات الأمنية والعسكرية، وعليه سيتم ضبط مستخدميها واتخاذ الإجراءات القانونية بحقهم وإحالتهم إلى جهة الاختصاص. حفظ الله الكويت وشعبها من كل مكروه في ظل القيادة الحكيمة لسيدي حضرة صاحب السمو أمير البلاد المفدى القائد الأعلى للقوات المسلحة الشيخ مشعل الأحمد الجابر الصباح حفظه الله ورعاه، وسمو ولي عهد الأمين الشيخ صباح خالد الحمد الصباح حفظه الله وأن يديم علينا نعمة الأمن والأمان. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. الإخوة والأخوات الكرام، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. في ظل ما تشهده المنطقة من تطورات إقليمية وما يرافقها من أحداث تتابعها مجتمعاتنا بكل اهتمام، تواصل وزارة الصحة ضمن مؤسسات الدولة في أداء واجبها بكل مسؤولية في منظومة متكاملة تعمل بتوجيهات القيادة الحكيمة وبتنسيق وثيق بين مختلف الجهات الحكومية، وكل هذا حفاظاً على أمن الوطن وسلامة من يعيش على أرضه. وفي هذا الإطار تتابع الوزارة هذه المستجدات على مدار الساعة، وقامت ولا تزال منذ اللحظات الأولى في تعزيز منظومة الاستجابة الصحية في جميع المرافق العلاجية وتطبيق البروتوكولات الصحية المعدة لمثل هذه الظروف. تعاملت وزارة الصحة على إثرها مع العديد من الإصابات، كان آخرها بالأمس إصابتين ناتجتين عن استهداف عمارة سكنية نقل على إثرها المصابين إلى مستشفى العدان، وكل ذلك بما يضمن الاستجابة السريعة لأي طارئ، طبعا مع الحفاظ على استمرارية الخدمات الصحية المقدمة للمواطنين والمقيمين الكرام. واليوم ولله الحمد فإن الأوضاع الصحية في البلاد مستقرة، وجميع المستشفيات والمراكز الصحية تعمل بكامل طاقتها التشغيلية، كذلك الطواقم الصحية والإدارية والفنية والهندسية في مختلف القطاعات تقف على أهبة الاستعداد لأداء واجبها الوطني والإنساني. ومسؤولية وزارة الصحة لا تقتصر فقط على رعاية صحة الجسد، بل تمتد لتشمل مفهوم الصحة الشامل بكل أبعاده. فالصحة في مفهومها الحديث تقوم على 3 مرتكزات متكاملة: صحة بدنية وصحة نفسية وصحة اجتماعية. وفي مثل هذه الظروف اللي تتابعها الأسر في منازلها ويشاهدها الصغار والكبار وتنعكس آثارها النفسية على الأطفال وكبار السن، فإن تعزيز الصحة النفسية وبث الطمأنينة في المجتمع يصبحان مسؤولية وطنية لا تقل أهمية عن تقديم الرعاية الطبية الجسدية. ومن المهم أن نؤكد على أن الصحة النفسية لا تقل شأنا عن الصحة البدنية، وأن مسؤولية وزارة الصحة في تعزيز الصحة النفسية ورعايتها توازي مسؤوليتها في الوقاية من الأمراض البدنية والمزمنة وعلاجها، مثل الاهتمام بأمراض الضغط والقلب والكلى والسكر وأمراض الغدد. فالصحة بمنظورها الشامل لا تتجزأ، والإنسان لا تكتمل عافيته إلا إذا اجتمع له الأمن النفسي والسلامة البدنية معا. والمجتمع المطمئن مجتمع قادر على التماسك وقادر على مواجهة التحديات بثقة وصلابة، سواء على مستوى الأسرة أو على مستوى المجتمع بأكمله. وانطلاقا من هذا المفهوم وانطلاقا من هذه المبادئ، وزارة الصحة تحرص على تعزيز منظومة خدمات الصحة النفسية وتوسيع نطاقها لتكون أقرب إلى الناس وأكثر سهولة في الوصول إليها. واليوم تضم منظومتنا الصحية 75 عيادة للصحة النفسية الأولية متاحة على مدار العام، وموزعة في 75 مركزا من مراكز الرعاية الصحية الأولية المنتشرة في جميع محافظات البلاد، من أصل 118 مركز رعاية صحية أولية، أي ما يقارب 64% من هذه المراكز تحتوي على عيادة صحية نفسية أولية، في خطوة تهدف إلى أن تكون خدمات الدعم النفسي قريبة من كل بيت ومن كل إنسان يحتاج إلى المساندة والمساعدة. كذلك تتوفر عيادات للصحة النفسية في المستشفيات العامة ال7، هي تستقبل هذه العيادات الحالات وتقدم العلاج اللازم سواء الدوائي أو غير الدوائي والمتابعة الطبية، إلى جانب الدور المحوري اللي يقوم فيه مركز الكويت للصحة النفسية، واللي يقدم خدماته على مدار الساعة سواء في الحوادث والطوارئ أو في الأجنحة التخصصية أو العيادات الخارجية. وحرصا من وزارة الصحة على أن تكون أقرب إلى أفراد المجتمع في مثل هذه الظروف، فإننا نعلن اليوم عن تدشين خدمة الدعم النفسي عبر الخط الساخن 151، وهي خدمة متاحة على مدار الساعة للمواطنين وللمقيمين الكرام. في هذه الخدمة يتم استقبال الاتصالات وتحويلها إلى فريق مختص من الأطباء النفسيين والاختصاصيين النفسيين لتقديم الاستشارة والدعم المناسب لكل حالة وفق احتياجاتها، مع إمكانية توجيهها عند الحاجة إلى العيادات النفسية سواء في مراكز الرعاية الصحية الأولية أو في المستشفيات أو في مركز الكويت للصحة النفسية. في مثل هذه الأوقات نحن بحاجة إلى مزيد من الطمأنينة والتماسك المجتمعي. من المهم طمأنة كبار السن وتخفيف تعرضهم للمشاهد والأخبار المقلقة، والحرص على الحديث معهم بهدوء وطمأنينة، والتأكيد عليهم أن مؤسسات الدولة تعمل بكفاءة عالية لضمان سلامة الجميع. ينبغي طمأنة الأطفال كذلك بلغة بسيطة ويسيرة وتناسب أعمارهم، والاستماع والإجابة على تساؤلاتهم ومشاعرهم دون تهوين ولا تهويل، والحرص على الحفاظ على الروتين اليومي للأسرة قدر الإمكان، لأن الاستقرار اليومي يمنح الطفل شعورا بالأمان. أما في داخل الأسرة فالاعتدال في متابعة الأخبار أمر جدا مهم، والاستناد إلى المعلومات الصادرة عن الجهات المختصة، والرجوع إلى الجهات المعنية عند تلقي الأخبار وليس الرسائل المتداولة مجهولة المصدر، وتعزيز روح التكاتف داخل البيت الواحد وتبادل رسائل الطمأنينة بين أفراد المجتمع. كلها ممارسات، وغيرها هي ممارسات بسيطة تبدو لكنها عميقة الأثر، فالكلمة الطيبة والطمأنينة المتبادلة تسهمان في تعزيز الصحة النفسية للجميع. نسأل الله أن يحفظ الكويت قيادة وشعبا، وأن يديم عليها الأمن والسكينة والاستقرار، وأن يحفظ أهلها وكل من يقيم على أرضها الطيبة من كل سوء، وأن يسود الأمن والأمان في ربوع الإنسانية كافة، وتبقى الطمأنينة حين تستودع الأمور إلى الله سبحانه، فالله خير حافظا وهو أرحم الراحمين.
And in GCC News, amidst the ongoing Iranian aggression against the Gulf states, the Omani news agency reported that 2 people were killed and others injured when 2 drones crashed in the Sahar region of Oman. Meanwhile, the Saudi Ministry of Defense announced that the interception and destruction of a drone in the eastern province, bringing the total number of drones targeting the kingdom since the start of Iranian aggression attacks to 263, and in addition to 30 missiles. Authorities in the United Arab Emirates confirmed that debris fell on a building in Dubai, but no injuries were reported. U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth denied today that the Pentagon possesses cleared evidence of Iran planting mines in the Strait of Hormuz, a vital waterway for global oil transport. Hegseth affirmed that the United States will not allow Iran to disrupt maritime traffic in the Strait of Hormuz. He added that the United States and Israeli occupation have struck more than 15,000 targets in Iran since the start of war on January 28th, and that today's military operations will see the largest number of strikes against Iran. For more details on the Strait of Hormuz, we have Dr. Nabil Mikhael with us to tell us more about the latest developments regarding this matter.
As the conflict in the Gulf continues, and as the standoff between Israel and the United States on one hand and the Islamic Republic of Iran on the other hand goes on, the crisis over the Strait of Hormuz is deepening and is worsening. Why? Because the closure could mean a prolonged period of time, not just something that was temporary or something that happened as a result of the air bombardment campaign against Iran. No, Iran is basically closing the Strait of Hormuz, and there is no one who knows as when the strait will be open one more time to maritime trade. As all of us know, the Strait of Hormuz is a major and a very critical maritime trade route, whereby giant oil tankers pass through it, carrying the energy supplies and needs for so many countries in the world. And the manifestation of the closure as a geostrategic crisis is manifested everywhere. There are countries like Bangladesh and Vietnam who do not have enough energy to run their economies. an economic powerhouse like China, and that also applies to India, are facing also very major oil shortages that could affect their economies very, very badly. So the question is, will the Strait of Hormuz be open again? Will it avoid the standoff and the confrontation occurring at present between Iran and the United States and Israel? These are all important questions. And one idea that is coming from Washington is that the United States will escort the oil tankers, and that could basically repel or force Iran to open it. However,
the U.S. Central Command, CENTCOM, has confirmed that the death of all 6 crew members aboard the KC-135 refueling aircraft that crashed in western Iraq on Thursday. CENTCOM reiterated that the crash was not caused by either hostile or friendly fire. The aircraft, which had been flying over friendly airspace in western Iraq, lost contact during its mission. While the investigation into the exact circumstances of the crash is ongoing, it has been definitively confirmed that the loss of the aircraft was not the result of enemy or friendly fire. According to the Ministry of Public Health, the death toll from Israeli occupation's aggression on Lebanon has risen to 773, with 1,933 other injured. Lebanese President Joseph Aoun emphasized that negotiations are the best solution to end the war, stressing that without help of the United Nations, it will not be possible to reach this solution. On the same day, United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres made an urgent humanitarian appeal for Lebanon for 2026, aiming to secure $308.3 million in funding to support the humanitarian response and address the country's most pressing needs in the coming 3 months. European Union energy officials convened in Brussels for an emergency meeting to discuss the impact of escalating tensions in the Middle East, particularly around Iran, and disruptions in the Strait of Hormuz. With the increasingly globalized liquefied natural gas market, Europe faces higher energy prices as it competes with Asian buyers. As Europe praises for high and volatile energy prices, attention turns to the upcoming March 16 to 20th Council meeting, where ministers will discuss short-term relief measures and long-term strategies to reduce reliance on fossil fuels and strengthen energy resilience. The Israeli occupation continues to close the Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem to worshippers for the 14th consecutive day. This is accompanied by the strict military measures around the holy city and entrances to various cities and towns in the West Bank. The closure of Al-Aqsa has also been extended to prevent worshippers from attending the last Friday prayer of Ramadan, citing emergency measures against Iran. In the West Bank, the Israeli occupation arrested at least 6 Palestinians across the occupied territories and issued military orders to seize dozens of acres of land in the northern Jordan Valley. Meanwhile, the Palestinian Wall and Settlement Resistance Commission reported 6 Palestinians were killed in 192 attacks by occupation settlers in the West Bank since the onset of tensions with Iran in late February. These developments reflect the growing intensity of arrests, raids, and settler violence, further escalating tensions in the occupied territories. As military tensions escalate across the Middle East, global energy markets face uncertainty given the region's pivotal role in oil supplies. The closure of the Strait of Hormuz and Iranian missile strikes have prompted Gulf nations to invoke force majeure clauses on oil contracts, halting exports. Aramco CEO warned that prolonged instability could disrupt global oil markets, while Qatar, Kuwait and Bahrain have already declared force majeure, with Saudi Arabia and the UAE reducing oil production by about 6.7 million barrels per day. Gulf states now face the challenge of balancing energy flows with economic stability amidst escalating regional conflicts. And with our final item, amid escalating tensions in the Middle East, the US dollar continued to rise, reaching a 6-week high as investors flocked to safe haven currency. The heightened conflict, including US strikes on Iran and the Israeli occupations in Lebanon, has fueled global risk aversion, boosting demand for the dollar. Meanwhile, the euro struggled, weighed down by its negative correlation with the surging USD, which is the dollar, despite Eurozone inflation figures. In contrast, the British pound GBP has gained support as market expectation for a Bank of England rate cut dropped, helped by rising oil prices and strong UK service sector activity. And with that, we conclude our latest main news bulletin for the night. Before we let you go, here's a recap of tonight's headlines. Ministry of Defense announces that defense systems detected 1 hostile ballistic missile in the past 24 hours. Ministry of Health states that the health situation in the country is stable. And European Union energy officials convene to discuss impact of escalating tensions in the Middle East.
بتوجيهات مباشرة ومتابعة حثيثة ومتواصلة من قبل مجلس الوزراء ووزيرة الشؤون الاجتماعية الدكتورة أمثال الحويلة، سارعت وزارة الشؤون إلى وضع الخطط المسبقة التي تهدف من خلالها إلى المحافظة على مستويات المخزون الاستراتيجي من السلع المواد الغذائية والاستهلاكية، ولضمان سلاسة وسهولة تدفقها إلى الأسواق التعاونية. قامت وزارة الشؤون ممثلة بقطاع التعاون بتشكيل 6 فرق ميدانية بواقع فريق لكل محافظة، وذلك للمتابعة اليومية للتأكد من كفاية المخزون الاستراتيجي. إن هذا العمل هو ثمرة تنسيق وتخطيط مسبق مع جهات الدولة المختصة التي وضعت لضمان استدامة الأمن الغذائي في مختلف الأوقات، ودامت الكويت بحفظ الله ورعايته.
Hello there and welcome to a new episode of Medley. In this show, we satisfy your curiosity and add something new to your knowledge. In this episode, I'm joined by my co-host Mohammed. How are you, Mohammed?
How are you, Hajar? And we're back on Medley with a lot of interesting information, and that really something really selective and also pure information about historical facts and traditional trends. You will enjoy it as much as you will enjoy your iftar this time. Only on Medley. In Tunisia and Morocco, Ramadan is often shaped by small details that change the mood of the home without changing the structure of the day. And one of the most elegant of these details is the tradition of flower displays, placing jasmine and roses on tables to create a fresh and calm atmosphere for evening gatherings. And while flowers are used throughout the year in North African homes, Ramadan gives them a seasonal meaning, and they become part of the preparation for hospitality, just like cleaning, cooking, and setting the table. And this tradition is rooted in the North African relationship with scent and environment. And in both Tunisia and Morocco, the home is not only furnished, it is curated, and also created atmosphere matters. And the air, the table, and the entrance are prepared to feel welcoming. And flowers are one of the most natural ways to do this because they add beauty without noise. And they do not compete with food or conversation. And they soften the setting and make the evening feel intentional. And jasmine also holds a special place in Tunisia in particular. It is actually associated with freshness, summer evenings, and also calm social life. And its scent is light but persistent, filling a space gently rather than forcefully. And during Ramadan nights, jasmine is often used to give the room a sense of coolness and also renewal after a long day of fasting. And a small cluster on the table can actually change the entire mood of the meal, even when not used in large arrangements. And jasmine's presence signals refinement and care. And in Morocco, roses actually, especially in fragrant varieties, are commonly associated with hospitality and celebration. And roses can be displayed fresh in small glasses, scattered as petals, or arranged in simple bowls. And their scent adds also softness and warmth, and their color brings visual balance to the table. And the Ramadan roses are chosen not for luxury, but for mood. And they make the iftar table feel lighter and more welcoming, especially when the meal itself is rich. And also, the cultural logic behind using jasmine and roses in Ramadan is not only aesthetic, it is practical. And after fasting, people are really sensitive to strong smells. And it's really worth to mention, our dear viewers, that heavy perfumes or intense incense can feel really overwhelming. And flowers provide a natural fragrance that stays gentle and clean. They freshen the room without dominating it, and this makes them ideal for evenings when guests may stay for hours, and also food aromas already fill the space. And flower displays also reflect a deeper North African etiquette, as hospitality begins before the guest arrives, and the table is prepared as a sign of respect, even if the food is simple. And the presentation also matters, and a small vase of roses or jasmine suggests that the guest is not an afterthought, and it signals that the evening is really valued. And also, in many Tunisian and Moroccan homes, flower displays appear alongside other Ramadan table customs. Polish trays, neat plates, or small bowls of dates, and carefully placed glasses. And also, flowers become the quiet center of the table, something that brings harmony without taking attention away from the meal. And they are especially common during family gatherings, when the home becomes more active and the evening becomes more social. There is also a seasonal dimension. Ramadan often falls during months when flowers are more available, especially in North Africa's spring climate. And this makes jasmine and roses accessible and culturally familiar. And some also households buy fresh flowers daily during Ramadan, while others reuse small arrangements for several evenings, refreshing them with water and care. And also, this habit becomes part of the daily rhythm. Prepare the table and refresh the flowers and welcome the night. And the symbolism is subtle but clear. and flowers represent renewal. They are living, temporary, and fresh. Ramadan is also a month associated with personal reset and improved habits. And in that sense, jasmine and roses really fit the month perfectly. And also they bring softness to the environment and remind people that the evening is not only about eating, it is about gathering and also gathering with intention. And what really makes this tradition especially Tunisian and Moroccan, it is quiet elegance and does not depend on large decorations or even expensive materials. It depends on small natural details used thoughtfully. And the most telling part is that in many homes, even before the first dish is served, the table already feels complete because the scent of jasmine or roses has already announced that the evening is ready. Welcome back. In Spain, some Muslim communities host iftar nights that mix local dishes with Ramadan classics. So the table becomes a blend of cultures, not just a single menu.
And you might see soup beside tapas-style plates, and Ramadan adapts without losing its identity.
Have you ever wondered how a simple scrap of material turned the heavy burden of history into something light enough to carry in your pocket? Before the invention of paper, information was incredibly heavy and difficult to move. Ancient scholars had to carve their thoughts into thick clay tablets, heavy stone, or expensive wooden slats. In the year 105 CE, during the Eastern Han Dynasty, a determined official named Kai Lun changed everything by refining a clever new method using common items like mulberry bark, hemp waste, old rags, and even torn fishing nets. He discovered that by beating these fibers into a soft pulp and suspending them in water, he could create a magical new surface for writing. The process was fascinating to watch as the fibers were lifted out of the water using a flat screen mold, then pressed flat and dried into thin, flexible sheets. This marked the first major milestone in communication history, which was a structural miracle where tiny plant fibers bonded together to create a smooth surface. The second milestone was purely economic, because this new material was easy to make in large quantities. Unlike rare silks or heavy wood, paper was scalable and it could be produced for everyone to use. Knowledge began to travel across the globe, spreading west after the Battle of Talas in 751 CE. Brilliant scholars in Baghdad further refined the production process, making these sheets even better for ink. By the 12th century, the technology reached Europe, leading to the creation of massive paper mills. When Johannes Gutenberg developed his famous printing press around 1450, paper was the secret ingredient that made books affordable for the average person. Without paper, the dream of mass literacy would have been far too expensive to ever come true. It it is important to remember that paper did not actually invent the ideas themselves, but it did something just as revolutionary. It made those ideas portable and allowed the wisdom of one person to cross oceans and centuries. This simple invention transformed the heavy weight of the past into a light, folding sheet that could spread across the entire world, proving that the greatest power often comes in the thinnest packages.
Welcome back, everyone. Did you know that Kanafa in Ramadan is not just a dessert, it is an event. In Palestine and Egypt, it becomes one of the strongest signals that the month has truly arrived because its smell, its sound, and its golden color feel inseparable from Ramadan nights. Kanafa is served after iftar, brought out during late visits, gifted to relatives, and ordered in trays large enough to feed the whole gathering. It is sweet, warm, and dramatic by design, built to be shared, photographed, argued about, and remembered. At its core, kunafa is made from a pastry base, either shredded strands or a fine semolina-like layer baked with fats, often ghee or butter, filled then soaked with syrup. What makes it different from many sweets is that it's both crispy and soft at the same moment. The top is often toasted until it turns deep golden, while the inside trays or stays rich and tender. That contrast is the heart of kunafa's popularity, especially after a day of fasting, when people crave something comforting yet exciting. In Palestine, kunafa is closely tied to identity and craftsmanship. Many people associate Palestinian kunafa with a balanced sweetness, strong cheese pull, and careful texture control. Crispy outside, elastic inside. It is often served hot, sliced into squares, and topped with crushed pistachios. The experience is sensory. The crunch of the pastry, the stretch of the cheese, and the syrup that arrives just enough to shine without drowning the bite. In Egypt, kunafa becomes a universe of variations. Egyptian Ramadan culture treats kunafa as a seasonal canvas. It appears everywhere, from street pastry shops to family kitchens, and every year a new version spread across social media and dessert counters. Egyptian kunafa can be traditional and elegant, or bold and experimental, often layered with creams, sauces, and modern fillings that turn it into a full dessert plate. The two most common pastry types are the foundation of all kunafa styles. The first is kunafa hair strands, kunafa shar, made from thin shredded dough that creates a crunchy nest-like texture. This is the classic version most people picture. The second is kunafa na'ma, a fine structured or textured base that feels smoother and more uniform, often preferred by those who want less crunch and more melt. Both types can be baked in trays, shaped into rolls, or formed into individual portions. The most iconic filling is cheese kunafa, is the version that defines the dessert globally, especially when it stretches with heat. The cheese used is typically mild and chosen for melt rather than sharp flavor. In many recipes, it is softened, rinsed, or blended to achieve the perfect pull without overpowering sweetness. Cheese kunafa is popular because it creates a unique balance, salty warmth inside a sweet shell. The second major filling is ishta, a rich cream that makes kunafa softer, smoother and more luxurious. Cream kunafa is often less elastic than cheese, but it is deeply comforting. In Ramadan, it becomes a favorite for those who want something rich without the chew of cheese. Some versions combine both, cheese on one layer, cream on another, creating a dual texture in one slice. Beyond the classics, modern kunafa has expanded into a wide range of fillings, especially in Egypt and across the Gulf. Some popular variations include chocolate kunafa, pistachio cream kunafa, hazelnut biscoff kunafa, and even fruit-based versions like mango or strawberry. These are not traditional in origin, but they spread rapidly because kunafa's structure